Good morning, boys and girls. Going through social studies today. This is going to be our lesson, and I'm just going to give you a couple of little things to look at if you have not done them yet, because social studies has been a little confusing. On Tuesday, we were having issues with the video, and so it's got the date on what you're supposed to do. So right here where it says 9/8 my community past and present, you would actually go to the video up here where it says 9/8 video instructions. So that's where he was finally able to upload the video for that. Then yesterday was the 9th, and it was the natural features of communities foldable, 9/9. If you go up here, right here, it says social studies video to go with 9/9 foldable lesson. So if you weren't able to watch that and do that yesterday, then you can do that. Now we're going to move on to the lesson for today, which is 9/10. And if you go to the instructions, it's all about communities and just different communities around the United States. So you would need 3 pieces of paper, or you could just use 2 and use the back of one of them, a pencil, and then attached you're going to see 3 passage images, and there will be readings for each passage as well. For the passage all about San Francisco, California, there will be an example of the Foursquare expected for all of the passages. So if we click on San Francisco, this is what you see, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to read all about San Francisco and then fill in this chart that I'm going to show you, okay? So you will also have the all about Hawaii one, and that's also in here, okay? So let's see if I can find it here. All about Honolulu, Hawaii. And then the other one will be all about Phoenix, Arizona. So these are all different places within the United States that we're going to practice with. So if it's easier for you and you have a printer, you can print these out, and that might work better for you. So if you need to write on them, or you can just use the video, the picture right here on the site and use that one. So I am going to go through this and I'm going to read this with you, and then I'm going to fill out the chart that you're going to need to fill out, and you'll need to make this unless you print it out. The chart looks like this. So it's almost like a Foursquare with the place in the middle, and then you've got your landforms right here. We talked about those yesterday. The climate, which is like the weather in that area most of the time. Natural resources, things that come from nature there that people can use. And then natural hazards, which are things that happen in nature that we cannot control, having to do with weather and things like that. And then also landforms are anything that is formed by land and that is in nature, okay? So let's go back to the San Francisco passage here. And it says, so we're going to kind of break it up into the 4 pieces, and it's kind of nice because it's already broken up for us. So let's read the land first. So it says, San Francisco is a large city located on a peninsula in Northern California. A peninsula is an area of land that is surrounded by water on 3 sides, but still connected to the mainland. San Francisco is surrounded by the waters of the Pacific Ocean and the San Francisco Bay. Rolling hills and tiny nearby islands add to the beauty of this city. So, whoa, that land is made out of a lot of stuff. So if I go through here and I look, okay, let's see. I'm looking for landforms. It's a large city located on a peninsula. A peninsula is an area of land. So, okay, on my sheet, I'm going to put peninsula. Okay, that is one that was in the passage. Now let's go back. Okay. It tells you what a peninsula is. Then it says San Francisco is surrounded by the waters of the Pacific Ocean and the San Francisco Bay. Okay, so landforms, they also include bodies of water. So let's put Pacific Ocean. Notice I'm going to capitalize it because it is the formal name of an ocean. And then I'm also going to put San Fran, okay? San Fran Bay, San Francisco Bay, which is also a body of water. And a lot of times when you guys go to the coast, you may go like bay fishing or something like that. The water is a little bit, I believe, it's not as deep as like ocean water. Okay, and then now it says rolling hills and tiny nearby islands. Wow, so they have a lot. They have hills and they have islands. Wow. Okay, so I'm just going to put little marks by each of these so that I can kind of block them off and know. Holy cow, that's a lot, right? Okay, and I know that I can fill in the place. Can y'all tell me where we were learning about? If you said San Antonio, you're wrong. Okay, yes, it is San Francisco. So underneath the place, I'm going to write San Francisco, California. I put CA because that's actually the abbreviation that you use in a city and state place. The CA stands for California. Okay, so let's move on. What's next on here? We did the land. Now let's do climate. Okay, it says San Francisco is known for its cool summers and mild winters. Cool breezes and foggy mist are common. So notice that word common. That means that it happens often. And that's what climate is. It's the weather that is common there. So it says that there's cool summers. That's nice because our summers are crazy hot. And mild winters, meaning that it's not like super duper cold with tons of snow. It stays pretty mild, almost like how the weather may have felt today, maybe a little colder. And there's cool breezes often, and that has to do with them being kind of off of the coastal area. And then also it says that there's fog a lot of times. So it's foggy. So look what Miss Drury did. On my paper, I put cool summers, mild winters, cool breezes, and foggy. So if somebody said, what's the weather like in San Francisco? These are things that you could tell them. And they may say like, ooh, I don't really know if I like the cool weather. I like the hot weather. This may not be the place for them if that's where they, like to live. Okay, so let's move on to the next category, natural resources. This area of Northern California provides excellent sources, there's that word. Okay, it's going to tell me some answers. Of water, timber, trees, minerals, and petroleum. Okay, this area is also home to hundreds of vineyards because of the rich farmland. And vineyards are what they use to grow grapes to make wine. Okay, so nice. Natural resources. So things that I can find there, I have sources of water, timber, which is just fancy word for trees. I've got minerals, come from the earth and may help us with different things. And then petroleum. Okay. And then it also says that there are vineyards, which means that that's very popular. I mean, anywhere where grape juice, things like that, anything that's made with grapes. And even grapes that go to the stores that you guys eat. Some of them come from this California area. So I wrote them all down as I looked through them. Okay. Last, we have natural hazards. And I love that they give us these headings because it makes it easier for us to look for our answers. So it says, San Francisco has experienced extremely damaging earthquakes. Okay, is that a hazard? Earthquakes? Yeah, that's going to maybe put our lives and our stuff in danger. So I'm going to write that under natural hazards. Then I see the earthquakes caused injuries to people and damage to homes, buildings, and bridges. Because of the threat of another earthquake, homes and buildings in San Francisco are built differently than in other places. That's called an adaptation, when they have to change the way that they build or do things in case another earthquake happens. Homes and buildings have extra support so that they will not collapse during an earthquake. So I'm going to make a connection, okay? First of all, I wanted to show you that I just wrote earthquakes because that seems to be the one that they speak to the most. And if I look at this, this is completely finished. Okay, so I've got everything kind of bullet pointed. Everything is nice and neat. I've got my place in the middle. I listed as much information as I could about San Francisco, California. And I feel like you should be able to do Phoenix, Arizona, and Honolulu, Hawaii on your own. Okay? Your parents can assist you with the reading. But if they can't, then I might be able to post me reading the other two if you would like. And then you can, use those if you want to. If you need somebody to help you read and you want your mom or dad or grandma or whoever's watching you to take a break. But this is what it should look like when it's finished, and you don't need to do the San Francisco one because Miss Drury used this as a model. But this is my example. This is my exemplar. This is what it should look like. Neat, bulleted, and have as much information as you can. Okay, enjoy learning about new places. I think you'll like learning about these places and looking at the differences between them. So, and maybe some similarities. All righty. Bye.